Everybody, it's Tony and Mel back live again, once again on a beautiful Saturday. Mel, how you do?
Hi, I'm good.
Well, you could see as we see Mel locked down, man. She's all locked down from the cold, folks. In Nassau, it's kind of cold. I know, probably Freeport is worse.
Yeah, maybe all the northern and central islands.
Got your African cool down.
Yes.
And then the
yes,
cheeky
yes.
hat. Oh, sorry, we late. You know,
Yeah.
I was just on a phone call, coming here speaking to somebody out of Freeport,
Okay.
and just gave me a hard time on the phone. But I can fix them. I can fix them.
Is it related to your discussions on the show?
Related to relationship. They were
Oh,
talking
okay.
relationship,
Okay.
and they tell me, but I won't tell them. Ah, boy.
Seems as if you may be able to tap right into some of the issues because our topic today is, as most of our show is, about relationships. So maybe there's something that you can extend via this forum.
I will leave that for last. If I leave it
Okay.
for first, that can, yeah, that hot, you know. And folks, people always beat me up, and they think that I am a male chauvinist.
Aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm very strong on my opinion when it comes to women and what goes on and what they can make it much better. I think
okay.
I think relationships should be very guided by women.
Or it could be guided by men, but most men renounce their leadership role.
Yeah, that's what I think. What we, no, talking about that. Let me go down this road. Men want to be strong, or men want to be heard, but so often they're not, because the woman has basically all the tools that God give them.
He ain't give the man them.
Well, society.
I think women use the tools that are given
Right.
to them
Society
more
has
readily.
built this world to everything based on woman. Man is secondary.
That is not altogether true, because we live in a patriarchal world where men basically gets everything. Women had to, in some zones, I wouldn't say in all zones, I don't think in the Bahamas, even though there is this acknowledgement of the women's suffrage movement, I think women in the Bahamas never really had to struggle for their rights, and basically because when the men were taken from the home, either to go and serve in the war or to go overseas to make an income, the women automatically became the leader of their homes. So I think the strong resistance that you see in Bahamian women in particular is because they've had that role modeled to them through generations, 3 and 4 generations of women-led homes. So that could be one of the reasons. And then the man too, having been raised in a woman-led environment, perhaps is a little more permissive in allowing the woman to take that power lead in the home.
But everything around, you look around, everything is based on the woman. Based on the woman. If I'm a man, okay, wait.
I listen.
And my, now, I'm talking with man. I ain't talking about man, playboy. I'm talking about man. If I'm a man, my goal is to build my family. And my family is based on, the words I use, I can build a house for my wife. I can make sure my children, I'm going to make sure my children are educated. I'm going to make sure my wife got food in the house. I can make sure my light bill paid. So everything is based that I do is based on me trying to cater to
meeting the needs
a
of
woman.
your family.
And I think that I think now we based most men, everything, even the stores, is built on women. They think of a woman before they think of a man.
It is a marketing strategy.
Yeah,
right?
To attack the woman.
But because the women, look at it, I think men have actually placed women in that position. Even when you look at the marketing.
No, I think women take it.
No.
I think you're just strong and you'll just do it.
Think about it. Think about everything that is sold on the business front. Everything is labeled with a woman being the image that they use.
Yeah. So
it's
women are becoming more powerful than men.
Well, for a number of reasons, you know that.
Yeah. And don't tell me because a man is lazy.
No.
Because I understand. See, when I say women becoming so powerful, and we do everything for women, even the children catered. The children love their woman more than love their father.
Well, that isn't that has always been.
So
that is not new. But
I could spend watch this now. I could spend all the money in the world on children, but they still can cling to their mother, right?
Why?
Let me tell you why.
Tell me.
Because mothers seems like they have this gift.
Of?
Inside gift. Come from the heart or come from the inside.
The same gift that the men are craving.
The men
from the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We crave for love from the
key.
woman. But the
That's
woman,
the key.
This is why, and I go back to my first, why people say I'm male chauvinist. Because woman has so many, they got everything. So men, I have to fight for something for a
I
man.
don't think a man have to fight.
We got to, because if we fight, let me tell you, if we don't fight, you will cook whatever you want to cook for me and push me in the corner.
But let me tell you why the men have to fight. You said it. The woman has this special gift, and this is the gift of love. And the woman is actually trying to get the men to share in that love, to show that love in a similar, it don't have to be identical, because we are wired, and that, I believe, is why the Bible, remember?
Don't go to the Bible.
No.
agree with you on the Bible.
Because look at what the admonition to men is, and what the admonition to women is.
Yeah, but
the man is admonished to love. Why? Because it doesn't come natural. The woman is admonished to honor, love, and cherish. Right? Honor and obey. Because, like you see, in the world today, what happened? Everything is catering to the woman. So the woman is being admonished. So the writer of the Bible, it must not be a new occurrence. It's something that has been around from the beginning of times.
Yeah, but men, like I say, and the reason I fight for men, because there's nobody fight for men. See, When
Men
you
have
see,
to fight for themselves.
yeah, but but you have all this woman rights, and the woman this and woman, but you don't have no man rights.
Men had all the rights.
No,
Women had to
but
develop the rights
so
that they
why do you
now
have all this crisis, this for the woman, and you don't have that for men?
Because for a long time, I am talking centuries now. If you look at documentaries of how women were treated as property. Okay? Men had all the rights. Men could do anything, go anywhere, do whatever they want to do, and the woman had to literally, what they say, put up and shut up.
No, but she wanted to do that. Nobody had
No.
Nobody had no gun to nobody's head.
Ain't nobody had no gun because
She
it was a natural default setting within society.
Woman wanted to portray themselves as this good and man was bad, and that's what happened. They create that on their own.
I don't know that is
Yeah, they
true.
create it.
I don't know that is
because
true.
Right now you got a lot of men in some serious crisis. They don't have a home. They drink all day. They get up. They have nowhere, and they probably build that home that they get put out of.
But then you have to track and trace the events leading to that state, because every marriage, nobody goes into a marriage where the number one element is not a shared and mutual love. When people go to the altar, even if it's a fake, it is portrayed that these two people have mutual love for each other. So somewhere along the line, whether it's 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 decades on, people change, situation change. But what is the change that is so detrimental that pulls these two individuals who were so starry-eyed in the front of all their witnesses?
I could give you plenty of stories,
I know.
It's right there in the Bible,
There are a lot.
It's right there in the Bible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is this, Tony, each couple coming together, because you mentioned something, society, the pressure of society, we're trying to fit into that mold that society created,
Exactly.
as opposed to learning from the bad, not taking the bad in, learning from it, using it as a signpost of which path to stay on.
Yeah. So, I don't want to get too far. What's our topic today?
Our topic is really why people stay in bad relationships.
Why people stay in bad relationships?
Yeah.
I can tell you why.
Why some people have a difficulty walking away from it.
Well, a lot of people walk away from.
You done start with the man already.
Yeah.
But let's continue.
But it's very difficult for a woman to walk away from bad relationships.
No, I think it's far more difficult for a man. Because, again, like you mentioned, many men are losing out on their property that they worked so hard for. So right off the bat, that's one of the reasons why men stay. And then the reverse for some women is because if they leave, where do they have to go?
Well, listen, woman has a lot of places to go. Because a crazy man pick up anything quickly.
Likewise, a woman.
Yeah, no.
Especially when the man then tell his tall story of how the woman was treated him so bad and didn't give him sex.
We always got a story.
Didn't cook for him. And
yeah, we always got a story.
Was nasty, and they create all sorts of lies.
We do that, but women do it too. And you know why some of the women can't really leave and be touched? There's a couple reasons why.
Yeah, I could think of a bucket list of reasons.
One of them is most times is children.
So children is one.
They feel that if I pull away from this man,
the children will suffer.
The children are hurt, or the children listen. But that's a lie, though.
I agree.
Because that's just a cop out.
Because in some situations, it is because of the children and the way that they're being managed
Yeah.
that it is best to pull away. That's one thing.
In most cases, it's best to pull away because you can't take the children down this road with this situation because most time kids are being hurt from these things.
Especially where there is situations of abuse.
Yeah, and so if you are smart enough, you will take your children from those type of situations. But women don't believe that. They believe that, oh, I got to keep this family together because I don't want my child with a fatherless, and I don't want I don't want my child with my mother. That see, you weren't with your mother.
What you mean?
What happened to my mother? See, every situation.
So basically, that's another situation where your parents their marriage didn't last, so you're going to work hard on making sure that yours lasts. Whether it's worse than your parents' own were.
But you can't worry with what happened to your parent is happened to your parent. You got to leave that alone.
So it requires the ability to be able to make sound judgment on a case basis. Meaning, what is your situation compared to what your parents' situation was, right?
Yeah.
Then a major one that why a lot of people find it difficult is because of the religious teachings, beliefs, and pressure.
Let's piggyback right there because that's really
one of the major in the Bahamas.
Yeah. See.
Because one of the reasons why many people married in the first reason is because of that very same teaching.
Religion.
And so once you come into the marriage now, you have some churches that will strike you off their membership list.
We don't believe in law. We don't believe in
divorce.
No. The Catholics. We don't believe in...
Not only the Catholic, but yes.
No, I'm saying they don't believe in... And see, that to me... See, the world has... I just get licked for this. This was I having a conversation with Miss Fowler in Freeport. The world has changed, right?
People of the world has changed.
And people of the world has changed.
I think the world is still the same.
And the world is changing.
Yeah, but the people has definitely changed.
No, the world changed too because the climate has changed. The way you see in hurricanes, you see the world has changed. The world has really changed.
Hurricanes is not new.
No, but just this type of flood and the type of corrosion and the world has changed.
Solomon say there's nothing new under the sun.
Okay, well,
it may be new to some of us in different regions, but but I understand what you're saying.
Okay. And so when you talk about the religious aspect of this, you don't want to leave your relationship because you don't want
you've been taught
or the people in the church has this hold on you. And you don't really care about what God say, You only care about what the people in church think of you. See, because most of us in the world...
You really think
the
opinion of the people trumps the opinion of God?
You ever listen to people when they talk to you? They don't say what God say. They say, my pastor say.
That means they ain't gone into the word for themselves.
No, then. Because most times they stuck on church. They chuck on I's a Catholic, I's Anglican, I go to St. John's Baptist, I go to this Baptist. They stuck on church.
Okay.
They're not stuck on their religious belief. They stuck on the church. So if the church do not play music in the church, that means I go to another church, but I can't stand this or this and this because we don't play music in our church. It's all what the church. It ain't what God say.
So
play music and be married.
Yeah, it's the conditioning, the
and
programming.
So in a relationship,
in
a relationship, they have the roof falling on them.
But they stay in.
But they stay in the roof because they feel that I cannot let my people know that I'm dying. But if you allow yourself to talk to God, He will provide a way. Most times.
That's true. All the time, not most times.
But
every time.
But most times you put it to the people. Here comes the problem. They never they never give you solution. They'll tell you what happened to them. and how they did it. But they never find solution to tell you, well, honey, you know what you do? Go to God on your knee.
You know, that in itself, that particular thing is something that is very common. And I think that response creates more frustration than anything else. Why I say that? It's not that God does not hear us. It's just that sometimes God sends us the answer. He points us in the direction that we should move. Two things. We don't recognize it in some instances, and in some instances we recognize it, but we want some other solution. We don't go by the solution that he provides us. Another thing that people say, especially if God say move, oh no, that is not of God, because God don't approve of divorce. God don't approve of separation and of marriage. So it's all about, sometimes people put some things on God that it makes people wonder, what kind of God is this that sees me in this state and doesn't approve of it?
Yeah, and so a lot of people in relationship say they go to God on their
They
knees.
don't listen.
And
They don't listen.
first things they do, most times when God tells them what to do, they don't want to do it because that's too heavy for me. See, it's too heavy for me to get up.
Either too
And
heavy or too easy.
It's too
Sometimes
heavy.
it's too easy too.
Yeah, it was too heavy for me to get up and go find another house and pay my hard-earned money.
And I done put all that I have into
See,
this.
things become
Okay.
things in the Bahamas today, or in the world today, become greater than money, or
Greater than
get
life
greater than
itself.
life itself. So money, most times, causes the most problem.
Money, material
Go on,
things,
watch now.
possessions.
Because
yes.
money becomes power.
And money is power for some people.
Yeah, money create things. Money create confusion. Money is the root of all evil. But money also costs more happiness than anything else. So the money, the love of the money.
I don't know that money causes happiness
Yes,
more
it
than
do.
anything else.
Yes,
no,
it do.
no.
I can tell
Money
you.
gives you access to things that may bring you short-term happiness. So
But-
if you're talking like that, then yes, money is a vehicle to more frequent and maybe greater level of happiness for some people. But do you realize that there are some people who don't have money that are happier than any person with all the money in the world?
But majority of people, or majority of women or men,
That's
course.
where we place the
Yeah,
happiness.
majority
And
of
that's what we perceive to be giving us our happiness.
majority of the time the money costs a lot of people open their leg.
But that don't bring them happiness.
But it brings somebody else happiness for a minute.
But
But it brings me happiness.
Okay.
So money buy me happiness. That's why I'm happy.
But how long does that happiness last? That don't matter.
It don't matter because
Okay.
for this moment I'm stimulated.
In
for
the
this
moment.
For this moment, in this moment, I am not feeling this pain that I was feeling.
And that in itself is another reason why some people don't walk away from bad relationships.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing. Because of money.
Because not so
Not the
much the
love.
money, because of the pleasure, the intermittent pleasures. Like for most days, it is sad, it is repressive, it is depressing, but there are glimpses, and that gives them hope that they may get more of these good feeling experiences if they do this, that, or the other.
But what the Bible say about money? Money comes by what? A multitude of things.
No. Love does.
No.
No. Love covers.
Well, what the Bible say about
The
money?
love of money is the root of all
No.
evil.
He also says
But then money does cover in terms of
A
it
multiple
is
things.
it now what it is it covers your needs. So it gives
Yeah.
you a degree of
Yeah.
freedom.
But- right.
It
So
reduces the level of stress or concern
But-
you have about where this is gonna come from or how I'm gonna pay
But
this
that's why
bill or
most
that
of
bill.
people are chasing the money. Because money, they think that money can solve problems right now. But
that's true, it does.
But
it is a very
it always the
rapid
underlining,
revolving door.
and
It doesn't stay. It doesn't
and
last
it's
forever.
difficult. It's difficult. If I used to having nice things, and I used to having my card that I could walk to the store, plug it in, get anything I want, and bring home anytime, and I have a gluttony for things. It's very difficult for me to leave this card or this person who gave me this card, my husband, my boyfriend, whoever it is. It's very difficult for me to leave him because I am still looking for the same lifestyle
Yes.
that I have here.
Yes.
So I will take
the lifestyle that you get, that you are having in that relationship, is one of the reasons why a lot of people find it hard, because it's like, especially if they're dependent on the other party to give them that lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what.
But then what about persons who don't have that lifestyle but still stay?
Well, if you don't have a lifestyle, you don't know about it. So,
Right.
So
But
you know at the level you are.
Right.
So it's good at the level. If it's good at the level, see some.
But it
people
could
also,
be bad.
Yeah,
It could be bad. It could be
but
worse. It could be
they
terrible.
Still, you see, because you got to understand the psyche of the mind of people.
Okay.
They still stuck into this that I could fix this. And
The fix-it mentality is
and most
definitely...
women are in that ring of fix. They believe they could fix a lot of bad stuff.
Yes.
And women, because their nature, we talked earlier,
caring, nurturing.
they believe that I could fix this bad relationship. And when they try to fix this bad, they realize that they get deeper and falling more in love. So the hole become wider. And then they
get
tired.
stuck.
Yeah, and then to leave a relationship.
A lot of people look at the time that they put into it too. You know,
Yeah.
I've been in this for 12, 15, 20 years. I'm not walking away from this. Okay, well,
and to leave a
let
relationship,
it overwhelm you. Let it snow you 6 feet under.
and to leave a relationship is hard for some people because some people are programmed that they go in right.
They
They
feel
can't-
that what is...
They can't go left because they only can go right.
But you know, as I thought of this topic, the first thing that I thought is, what is bad for one individual is not necessarily bad for the other, because the person who's living in that relationship may think that that is the best option that they could ever have.
Yeah, because that's all they know.
Especially if they grew up seeing this particular destructive, even though it may be destructive to the person looking on, but to the individual that's in it. My daddy used to beat my mother, and if my boyfriend or my husband don't beat me, that means they don't love me. Right?
And
so the mindset and the experience, the role modeling that they have seen in their everyday life is what caused some people to stay.
And mindset, you said it. And mind too. When you set on and get comfortable, see, the mind becomes, it starts to play tricks on you. So mind has have a lot to do why people don't live. Because you start thinking, if I go, I can meet another person like this, I can meet another woman, but so why I go? I must stay. The odds against me. And what is
So in essence, you're taking a risk, and some people
Yes.
are not prepared
They're not
to
prepared.
take the risk.
They're not going to take the risk.
Of encountering the same thing. But I believe that the problem with people who don't take risks is because their focus is on the wrong thing. The focus should be on what is it that you desire in order for you to flourish, in order for you to feel good and experience happiness most minutes of your day, not your life. Just take it one day at a time. And for instance, we talk about the person who may be abusive or who may be harsh. It is about internalizing. It is about getting to the root of that behavior. And if you, after you have spoken to that individual and you all had a discussion, now if there's no discussion and the person doesn't want to talk about it, it's time to pack up and move, because the behavior is not going to change. The only way you're going to have a solution to a situation is that you have to get to the root of it, discuss it, get help if help is needed, and then move forward.
And spirits has a lot to do with it. Now, when you become me, you become a part of me, and I control you by my spirit.
That depends.
You want to know how that happens?
Go ahead.
Okay, what happens is that you cannot even see it with your naked eye, because when it happens, you don't even know.
Okay.
So, when I have intercourse with you, and I inject my spirit into you, you become me in the spirit realm. Now, now, see, you got to go deep for this. This deep stuff. But we can talk deep stuff now. And so when my spirit, and I speak to my own spirit, it listens. You mightn't believe it, my spirit is injecting you. We starting to agree. There's no your spirit fighting mine. It's my spirit. You become this deep stuff. Now let's go deep stuff. So what happens when you have my spirit now? You feel like you're obligated to me. And so what happens now? Every time your spirit and you start to fight my spirit that I interject in you, and they started to have this war, and my spirit of love is now starting to control you, and you now saying, I can leave him, but my spirit is saying to you, no, you don't do that. If you do that, you can't make it, because this man love you, and this man love you. So the confusion. See, now watch what the problem is. The confusion where your spirit and my spirit start fighting. That's the confusion. When that confusion starts to happen, most time when it settles down, and I come and confirm what my spirit and you done told. So when I confirm now, see, the confirming coming. And once that start, you then start seeing things my way. Everything. You can't do without me, because you feel you go down the road, my spirit keep on saying, you better go back home to Tony.
Okay.
Every time.
So
go on.
So
Deep stuff.
it is deep, and
too deep for this.
The reason why I would accept
some of it,
aspects of it, is because personally I believe that as an individual we comprise three parts: the mind, the body, and the spirit. Right? Now, the spirit that is in me is the spirit of God. The spirit that is in you is that very same spirit, the spirit of God.
But I speak controlling on that. I'm very controlling.
You may believe that you have an element of control, and that is where the conflict begins, because there are people whose mind influence the way that they interact with each other. So your mind will definitely alter the way that your body responds to the individual. The spirit, on the other hand, there will be that element of confusion, that battle that goes on until such time as both spirits are in alignment, and both spirits are in alignment with the Spirit of God. So the external factors that may alter our thought processes will cause a disturbance in the spirit element that exists between the two individuals. And until both individuals are aligned with because when I am aligned with God and you are aligned with God, then we now can agree, because that's what the question is posed, right? Can two walk together unless they agree? That agreement is a spiritual agreement. Now think about the social element that is influencing it, because like you say, society places so much on this and that, and there's this cause and that cause and this conflict and the next conflict, that our minds are so confused that the things may take a big factor for you, whereas for me, things ain't that important. So that imbalance exists right there within the relationship. So the whole mind, body, spirit connection is in a turbulent state.
And so now, so now we dealt with the spirit. Now I'm gonna go. I'm going even deeper. You heard about these women who getting killed from these men. Because, and they always say, I went to the police, or I went this way and I went that way, and I get no help. See, the reason why you probably didn't get no help or you leave, because you don't want to help yourself. Most times people in these situations can help themselves, you know.
Okay.
The problem is, there's a few things happens. You're too lazy. And when you're too, watch what I can say now. Watch how I say this. When you're too lazy, you're lazy in every aspect. You're lazy, you don't care and get up. You don't gotta get up and go. You don't have no drive. You're lazy, you don't do it. You want everybody to do things for you. So if somebody is threatening you, and somebody said they're gonna kill you, and you trying to leave this individual, you think going to the police will do? That's not gonna help you. Because the police can't be with you 24/7. The police might can go and talk to the person, but when the police walk away, the person get double angry. They're now mad because the fact that you're going to the police, and so they have this anger because.
And then some people have no fear.
Right.
The fear that you
they have no fear
of that individual. That person don't fear the law or the police or anything.
So what happens? Then you start fighting fire with fire.
Okay.
That didn't work.
Okay.
You started to say, you can't come to my house. You can't do this. The more you resist the person, the more aggressive the person becomes.
Right.
So in some cases, why we say they can't, this topic is why you can't leave. It's cheaper. You use the tools you have.
Or learn to use the tools that will work.
Right. And the tools is simply, basically, a few things. How I talk to you.
Yes. So your tone, your attitude,
What
your
do I
patience.
say? Yeah.
Yes. Choice of words.
Yes. And everything has to be based on preciseness. When you want to leave somebody, it has to be on preciseness. You cannot pick up and leave anybody and don't feel like they're not going to be hurt.
Right.
So you have to let them know specifically that I do not like this approach that you have into me. Even in that, some people will be little.
Right. But
if
at least it gives the individual an insight and also an opportunity to correct whatever it is that might be the problem.
But what has happened most times is that it's another factor causes you decide that you want to leave. Either if it's somebody else, if it's somebody else on his side, even if it's not enough money, even if it's not enough front, whatever.
There's some dissatisfaction on some level.
I outgrew you. It's something, some factor. Now,
when people
Even in the
say that
Bible.
they outgrow an individual, all those little elements that you talk about is some factor. That outgrow is just a blanket cover.
Yeah.
Right? So
But when you say you outgrow somebody, most times if you check it, they find somebody who they believe is more powerful.
they
than
fall
you.
in love with
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
else.
and they believe that person is more stable than you, has more power. Because Bahamian woman loves power.
or people with power.
Or people with
in power.
Yeah, they love somebody with power and somebody who can put it
I
right.
know.
And if you see a policeman in a policeman clothes, to some people he got power because he told a gun every day. So he got power by his gun. So that means, let me explain.
So I mean, I guess that's true
No, no,
for
no.
some people.
Let me break it
looking
down to you.
for security.
No, let me break that down to you. See, I'll break it
Okay.
down. Don't let me lose my train. So if I have a bad head boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and he harassing me, the best person to date is
There's
a police officer.
there.
Because 9 times out of 10 he can back off that. That's one of the situations he can back off. Because he realized this guy got a whole force behind him. He has to be very careful.
That'll work for some people.
Majority of people that works for. Secondly, if you go to a guy, if a girl leaves me and go to a guy who's humble, it wouldn't work. Because
It could work.
It might work, but it wouldn't work. Most times it doesn't work because now the dominant guy will now start to threaten both parties.
The reason why I say it could work, right? You hear them say, "Don't take my kindness for weakness."
But most times the girls go to thugs because
They feel secure, but
Right.
guess what? All that initiate is a thug war.
Yeah,
Because
but-
thug meet thug.
But their
some
chances are
guys-
greater. Their chances are greater going to a tug than a ball head like me. Because they know that guy head ain't good. And they know homeboy head ain't good. And homeboy would not take the chances. 9% of the time, 99% of the time, he can take a chance with another tug. He'll think first. Even if he's gonna take his chance, he's gonna think first.
Okay.
And so, in relationship, most times, people don't leave relationship, most times, based on their thought.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with money. It's like-
Thought governs every
Yeah.
action that we take.
so, even if you're thinking about moving
How we
forward,
believe
you
things.
feel like this
turn
person
out.
got more money. It's all your thought. That's a thought. This person got more love. It's your thought.
Or
This-
even a belief, because if you keep
Yeah.
thinking it over and over, it becomes
it's-
a belief. Yeah.
And then all it is what you put in your mind. And so if you say to your mind, I am not lazy, I'm going to get up here, I'm going to leave this man, I'm going to do what I got to do, I'm going to move forward, and I'll be better, and it will happen. Because the words you say with your mouth, you got to put in action. Most times, people don't leave their relationship and leave and then swallow is because they're lazy. They have no drive. They come from a home background where everybody live in squalor. That's all you know. You only showing up your head because somebody come in the house and say, "Oh, you ain't clean up," and you say, "Child, you know what? Let me put this aside. I can do it right now. When you leave, child, I'm so tired. When you leave, you shut down. She too damn nosy. Lock the door." See, reality and real. We gotta be real. See, the problem. Most people get in their situation because they're trying to live a lie. They're trying to live what they ain't. Either they living above.
Yeah.
See.
Just got to keep it real, right?
See,
keep it real. Keep it real.
I had opportunities where I've been in the same situation. I used to live in the big time area with a white girl. But I know I couldn't afford it. But when it was time that I really couldn't afford it, I started feeling the pinch, and she started to act like crazy. I had to go back to Model Lights. I didn't want to go back to Model Lights because now I got to face all those people I live in Model Lights.
Yeah. You jumped the wall, now you got to jump back
Yeah,
over.
and so why did I stay there so long? Because I didn't want the people in Wonderlight
To look at you a certain
as
kind
a loser
of way.
come back.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
yeah.
what I did, I stayed in that atmosphere with the roof fall on top of me.
Yeah.
And-
Cave in. And
And that's dangerous.
that has physical, mental, emotional, financial,
You name it.
health related implications that are all in the negative.
Yeah.
I think people do themselves an injustice when they allow the opinions of others to govern their destruction.
Yeah.
Because you are self-destructing, but because of what the neighbor or some other individual might think, you just stay right in there. You rather die
But see,
than liberate yourself.
no, see, I know I've been in a situation, I know about lies. I know about lying to survive. And a lot of people stay in situation because they lie so much, and they're trying to get everybody under their finger thumb around to get them under this, so they can, seems like
As if they got it all
they got
going
it together
on.
and they can get out of there, but they can't, because I remember even, oh boy, talking about it, I remember, let me make you laugh, I remember even parking the car 2 blocks down, jumping over a couple of walls and fence,
And walking the
and
rest
going
of the
back home.
way.
Yeah, but I'd leave the car down, and
But
I'd
you
jump
know what?
just to and sneak at night and go
But
lay,
you know what?
just because I didn't want nobody to know I wasn't there no longer.
But you know what? That in itself is a first step back to reality. If you have to take it in stages, if you have to cover, but get yourself out of the mess.
That's why I told you a lot of people could get out.
Yeah.
They're just lazy. You could get out of the mess, because the mess, you just lazy because you don't want to spend your own money. You want to live off this man's money. So you're in this man's house. The man don't want you.
Yeah.
The man don't want your children. You're nasty. You don't want to cook. You don't want to open up your leg. But you think that you could stay there and get treated well. It don't happen.
But you know
It
what?
don't
There
happen.
are some people who stay mainly because they would put up with the bad treatment, they would put up with the neglect, they would put up with anything that is destroying them, that's killing them slowly, than to face the music and say, you know what, this did not work. I have an opportunity for a fresh start. I may have to start out from scratch. I may have to live with a relative. I may have to put up with some things that I don't wish to. I may have to share space. But at the end of the day, my peace of mind is what is most important. My health is what is most important. My dignity is what is most important. You know, forget the opinions of people. More people are in their grave as a result of paying attention. More people are in sin because of paying attention to what other people might say or how they may view you. I rather them view me alive and healthy and displaced than to view me in a stewing, dysfunctional, self-destroying situation.
And before I close, I'm going to explain why it's not good for the children. I know, nobody tell me, I know for fact right now that kids, after basketball practice, you go to drop them home. You know what they do? They will say to you, oh, I live right here. So you drop them there, and you sitting there waiting for them to go inside, and they dally around the gate and dally around the gate. And then you say, oh, I go on, and then you watch them
In
walk
the
back
rearview
down
mirror
and go
to the house.
to the house, the old breakdown house, because they're embarrassed to let you know as the coach that where they living.
Yeah, the conditions.
Now, let me tell you why it's so hard for them. Because you got them in an environment where they don't even want to be. It's garbage. You also got them liking a man who like garbage because he living in garbage. So these kids are not functional no more.
Right.
You think these kids going to be functional. No, they're not, because these kids trying to hide everything from all their friends. They're trying to hide where they live. They're trying to hide their daddy. They're trying to hide everything, and everything is a cover-up. So they don't live in this. What they're doing is living this stress, mental stress,
Hiding, having
issue.
to duck
So in society now,
reality.
when they grow up in reality, all they do all their life is hide things, because that's where they come from. Where they have to hide this and hide it, and it's not good.
But you in that scenario, you bring another spin to it too, where society has such a high level pressure that people are ashamed to identify. It's not a child's fault if their parents are struggling, and there is no shame in struggling as long as you are giving
But they
your
might
best.
be struggling. They might be in this relationship with this man who drinks, and his mother, she stick with it because she's just lazy. Sometimes, see, some people is just be lazy. So they got these children in these situations.
So it's a mental thing. Some people
You'll be
feel
surprised.
Some people
to know-
feel helpless. You call it lazy, but they have this sense of helplessness, like they can't
Because-
if they can't do any better.
Because they depending on somebody else to bring them out and make them happy and do this, depend on somebody, and they're in a situation and they can depend on somebody else to take them out of the situation. They need to work on their own situations. I only could assist you.
But they may not have the skills. Like I say, if an individual grow up, say this woman who is in this situation, she might have seen her mother, she might have grown up in that kind of situation. There's something called a cycle of poverty.
Yes.
And then also, it's the same thing like with the abuse, the trauma, that because a child see their mother or their father go through it, boys hearing their mothers speak ill to their fathers, girls seeing their fathers beat their mothers, they think that is normal. Now, initially there is a sense of fear, but as they become more accustomed to it and they live in that environment, it becomes the norm.
But the show today is based on
Why people stay.
why people stay. So what we try to do is sensitize some of the situations, so help you to get rolling and get up and better yourself and get rolling. Because see, Melanie is a woman and she worked for many years, and had she took the role of just depending on her husband, she'd never get where she are today. And so the key is you gotta know when you is falling in the hole, and you gotta pull yourself out of the hole. Everybody goes through this down turn in their life, and you gotta be able to pull yourself out. I was divorced. I was married. I get divorced, lift myself up. Melanie the same way, lift herself up. And the church preach what?
No divorce.
No divorce. But in some cases, you might have to divorce to save your life. And in the next case, you
And
might have,
forget what people think and what people have to say. You have a personal relationship with God. You could read the Bible, you could read other annals of history, and you could just simply rely on God to give you a personal guidance. You know? A lot of times, like I say, we pray to God, but we don't listen for God answers. There's so many voices in our head that we can't hear the voice of God for our own individual situation.
And sometimes you have to run. You got to pick your bag. The Bible says pick your bag and break off running. You have to pick your bag, bundle your bag and break off running. You have to do that to save your own little soul and save your life sometime. And so I say this before I close to these young girls who getting killed from these brothers. The brothers tell me in prison, they always say, they don't meant to kill this woman. I meant to kill her. I meant, and they sorry. But the woman here had to say her side. Mm-hmm. Only the brothers who here who do the killing. So for the women who out there, who in these bad relationships and know it, if you can't do it, get some help.
Yep, that's very important. Help
get
is
some
out
help.
there.
Get some help. Don't tell me you can't leave. This was our show based on today. Oh, you can't leave because your man can kill you. Oh, I can't leave this. Even if you have to jump the plane and go another island or go somewhere and never come back, get some help.
Yeah.
Take my advice. Yeah. Get some help. The life you save is your own. Mm-hmm. And it's serious. There's no reason for you to stay in an abusive relationship.
And help is out there. Some people believe that there is no help, right?
What love is? Foolishness. Foolishness.
No.
Feelings. Oh, I love you because I feel. Oh, I hurt because I can't leave. Where does this come from? Emotional feelings. This is what got all us crazy. And then you go to bed and you go spend your waka 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. and you, what is this? Get your life in order. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. Think about you first, then think about love. I always tease Melanie. Melanie say, oh, all right. So, Melanie, happy to be single. Right, Melanie?
I am.
Okay. And she wished one day, she know it coming. She know the beauty is coming. But you must Melanie take care of Melanie. Melanie take care of Melanie. And that's right? Well, take care of Melanie. And I can try my best to take care of Melanie too. Don't worry about it. I got her covered. So, folks, Melanie.
Thank you so much for joining us again today. And our take-home message is know what is harmful and what is helpful. If something in your relationship is harmful, seek to resolve it. You should not have to abide and dwell and remain in a situation that brings harm to you, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual. Know the good that life has to offer. You know when something doesn't feel good to you, seek help. Start with a conversation with the person that you are with. And if you're not getting any improvement, seek a second person who can mediate or who can offer or render some guidance as to the path that you can take. Oftentimes, you have to begin with healing yourself before you can heal others. You can only help others when you are first in the position to help yourself. You must be whole. You must feel good about yourself. And then if someone else is making you feel less than you think you should be feeling, then you know that that's not the person that you need to be with. You need to find a smooth transition where you can get the help that you need. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. And
I want to just say hello to my people in Freeport. Y'all been beating me up, but guess what? I love all of y'all, from my sister Laura, my sister Linda, Princess, Miss McPhee, Miss Fowler. I send love to all of y'all. I when I tell y'all, all of y'all, I am not a male chauvinist. I am hardliner, and I love to see it balance out some more. So, to all my friends in Nassau, hello. I thank you for watching. And
Follow us in Cat
on
Island,
Cat
follow us
Island,
in the
yeah,
US,
yeah.
and wherever you
Sophie
are.
Choice, I just want to say Happy New Year and send a shout out to all of y'all. I love y'all. Let love invade the land now. The Bahamas, we need love. Share love, everybody, and have a good day. Under the tree, Melanie and Tony. Love you all. Have a
Next
good day.
week,
Next
same
same
time.
place, same time.